Good evening, I'm Ian Black. The weekend is here. There's certainly a bite in the air with the wind, and some of you seeing some lake effect snow squalls. We'll talk about that. Your weekend forecast, too, coming up. It's 5 o'clock. Your local news starts right now.
Tonight on CBC News, Ottawa at 5. Olympic welcome. The capital greets the Olympic torch with a weekend full of ceremony.
A lot of the rights we have today is because Jean-Robert was among those who fought.
Remembering Jean-Robert Gaultier, Ottawa mourns the loss of a longtime politician and French rights advocate. Good evening, I'm Adrian Harewood. Lucy is away. The Olympic torch is in Gatineau tonight, the start of a weekend of appearances across the National Capital Region. For people in Ottawa, this weekend is your chance to see the flame up close and personal as it makes its way across the country to Vancouver and the start of the Olympic Games in February. Steve Fisher is standing by live now at Place de la Cité. Steve, I don't see any flame glowing behind you. When does it arrive?
Well, Adrian, the Olympic torch is not expected to arrive here for another couple of hours. But as you can see behind me, they have set up a big stage here. And despite the cold, they're expecting hundreds of people to turn out, all getting into the Olympic spirit in anticipation of that big moment when the torch arrives. We first caught up with the torch early this afternoon, 100 kilometers east in Hawkesbury. A local high school band turned out to provide a musical backdrop for the main event, a run through town with the Olympic torch. From here, the torch crossed the river, making stops in several Quebec communities on its way to Gatineau. One of the people who will get a chance to carry the flame tonight is Ottawa Senator Mike Fisher.
Got asked earlier in the week, and obviously I wasn't going to say no to do it tonight. So it's obviously a big honor, and looking forward to it. I'll be glad to be able to do it.
Tomorrow, the Olympic torch crosses the river to Ottawa. The relay starts at the National Gallery with ceremonial stops in Marion Dewar Plaza at City Hall, and then the big local celebration on Parliament Hill. Festivities there will get underway at 5, with the torch making an appearance at 7. Among the musical guests on the Hill tomorrow night, Tom Cochrane. Many local dignitaries and past Olympians are also scheduled to make an appearance. You will also be able to see the torch along the route it takes through Ottawa tomorrow. Go to the Vancouver 2010 website to get details about times and exact locations. On Sunday, the torch heads west, starting in Canada at 8 a.m. before visiting Carleton Place, Arnprior, Renfrew, Petawawa, and Pembroke. And Adrian, there's still lots of time for people to come down here to Parc de la Cité. There'll be lots of activities, great entertainment, and acts and Olympians to see. You might want to dress warm if you do come. If you want to stay at home and just see what happens here, we'll be on again at 5:30 and 6 o'clock to bring you the latest. Adrian?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, Steve. That's Steve Fisher in Gatineau. Tonight on CBC News, Ottawa at 5:30. Torch throng. Capital Region crowds get set to welcome the Olympic torch.
Somewhere through those 17 days, there will be extraordinary deeds.
Terry's spirit. The legacy of Terry Fox inspires a new Olympic award. Good evening, I'm Adrian Harewood. Lucy is away. The Olympic torch will be burning bright in this area this weekend. Celebrations in Ottawa get underway tomorrow. But at this hour, the flame is making its way through Gatineau. People are starting to gather at Place de la Cité for this evening's ceremony. Reporter Steve Fisher is there. Steve, tell us what we can expect tonight and this weekend.
Well, Adrian, things have actually picked up a lot here in the past few minutes. There's jugglers behind me and people getting ready on stage. There are some people now gathering here, but the actual entertainment really starts at about 5:45, and by then they expect there will be hundreds of people here, all here in anticipation of the big moment when the Olympic torch arrives here at 7 o'clock. Now, earlier in the day, that torch actually was Hawkesbury, where people ran it through the town. It then made several pit stops along the Ottawa River on the Quebec side, small towns, before winding up here tonight at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, as you mentioned, it will be in Ottawa throughout the whole day, and then finally heading off on Monday towards Toronto. Adrian?
Should be a lot of fun. Thanks, Steve. That's Steve Fisher in Gatineau. Good evening. I'm Adrian Harewood. Lucy is off tonight. Ottawa is about to get a taste of Olympic fever, even though the Winter Games are 2 months away and taking place in Vancouver. That's because the Olympic torch relay is coming to town. It's really making its way through Gatineau, where ceremony at Place de la Cité gets underway within the hour. And that is where reporter Steve Fisher is tonight. Steve?
Yes, Adrian, it's still 1 hour until the actual Olympic torch comes along some barriers here and makes its way to the stage. But as you can see behind me, despite the cold, there are lots of people here, probably, I'd say, 400 or 500 already, all waiting here, getting into the Olympic spirit in anticipation of that big moment when the Olympic torch arrives. There is still plenty of time to get down here and lots of room for more people. The torch arrives at 7 o'clock, but of course the party will go on long beyond that. And so if you do come down, just make sure that you dress warm. Adrian?
It's going to be an exciting night and weekend. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
That's Steve Fisher in Gatineau. And good evening. This is CBC News Ottawa Late Night. I'm Adrian Harewood. Olympic excitement is in the air tonight. The torch is now burning bright in the National Capital Region. It arrived in Hawkesbury this morning and will be touring the area for the next couple of days. Hannah Thibodeau has been tracking the torch all day and joins us live from the newsroom. Hannah.
Well, there was more than just holiday spirit in the National Capital Region today. There was also tons of Olympic spirit. An extra glow filled the night sky in Gatineau as Ottawa Senator Mike Fisher hoisted the bright orange flame above his head. Each torchbearer carries the Olympic flame for 300 meters. For the first half, Fisher walked, then eventually jogged the rest. A smile never leaving his face.
You know, proud to be Canadian and everything that it represents, and the Olympics, and a lot of different things and emotions, and obviously very fortunate to be able to do it, and it was neat.
Fisher passed the torch on, but he hopes his Olympic moment isn't over yet.
That'd be a dream come true if I was able to put the Canadian jersey on, for sure. That'd be awesome.
There was hockey and Olympic fever in Ottawa too, as local torchbearers dropped the puck at a 67s game. They, along with 100 other local residents, will carry the flame throughout Ottawa on Saturday.
It'll be pretty surreal. This whole experience has been surreal, and I'm pretty sure it's the only time that I will ever get to participate in anything sports-related, let alone the Olympics.
Earlier today, the relay went through Hawkesbury. Then the torch crossed the river, making several stops in Quebec communities. Tomorrow, the torch relay starts at the National Gallery with stops in Marion Dewar Plaza at City Hall, and then the big celebration on Parliament Hill. She holds her head high. Among the musical guests on the Hill, Tom Cochrane. Many local dignitaries and past Olympians will also make an appearance. On Sunday, the torch heads west, starting in Canada, then to Carleton Place, Arnprior, Renfrew, Petawawa, and Pembroke. To see the torch route, you can go to Vancouver 2010 website and you can get the exact times and locations for here in Ottawa. Also, we should tell you that there are going to be some traffic disruptions tomorrow because of this. Adrian.
Hannah, can you give us a sense of what those disruptions will be tomorrow?
Yeah, here are a couple of examples. Tomorrow, because of the relay, which will end up on Parliament Hill, on Wellington Street, it will be closed in 2 stages between Elgin and O'Connor Street. That will happen between 3 and 10 p.m. And then between Bank Street to Elgin Street, and that closure happens between 5 and 10 p.m. So you'll want to avoid those 2 locations if you're driving. You might just want to walk down to see the torch.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Hannah. That's CBC's Hannah Thibodeau in our newsroom.